Good morning, badgers. One angry pagan here. Now, I thought I'd do, we are on, right now, course for Labour winning. The choice right now is for who's going to be the official opposition. And how much is SNP going to gain or lose in Scotland, how much is Plaid Cymru going to gain or lose in Wales, etc., etc., right? So I thought I'd go into my green politics side of things, and yes, I got the badger beanie. And take a look at solutions for saving our ecosystem in the UK. And I say solutions because we know at this point all the problems. If you don't, there are many better channels to go and look at to bring yourself up to speed on, or you could just go out and look at the issues we've got going on. So I thought I would have a look on several different several different sources as to what we could, what the solutions that there are possibly to, help saving the ecosystems and our biodiversity. So what I've got here is Royal Society.org. We've got British Ecological Society.org, gov.uk. I was going to take a look at what the Tories the Tory government policy is before Labour come in, and then I was going to look at the Labour Party manifesto to see what they're saying they'll do about it, and maybe have a look at others if I see more. So we're gonna start with what the government think we should do. Okay, let's go to gov.co.uk. So, by the way, please like, subscribe, and comment, especially on the badger. All hail the badger. Anyway, so it says here, it's not too late to reverse biodiversity decline by 2030, UK's 5 leading nature bodies say. Right? Greater action, investment, and embracing natural solutions are crucial to reversing biodiversity decline by 2030, the 5 UK statutory nature agencies say in a new report published today, 22nd of September. This was 2021. It marks the first anniversary of the Leaders' Pledge for Nature, which has been signed by over 80 heads of state from around the world. Nice. Natural England, Natural Resources Wales, Nature Scot, Northern Ireland Environment Agency, and the Joint Nature Conservancy Committee have together launched a new report, Nature Positive 2030, which sets out how the UK can meet its commitments in the Leaders' Pledge for Nature and ensure that nature's recovery plays a critical role in our path to net zero. The findings from the joint report shows that achieving nature commitments will deliver huge benefits to human health, well-being and our economy, and will require transformative change across society in the way we protect, value and use and engage with nature. This sounds great. What's it saying that we should do? Right. Ensuring wildlife thrives within protected areas on land and at sea. Right. But how big are these areas? Better conserve wildlife habitats outside protected areas, in particular those areas identified as parts of nature networks or as important blue/green infrastructure. See, this is what the government are being told they need to do. I need to know what the government is saying they'll do. That they do. Yeah, this is sneaky from the government, because the, it seems that, oh my god, what's this? Biodiversity net gain exempt developments. A guide to the types of development that will be exempt from the mandatory biodiversity gain requirements. What the fuck? Existing planning applications, variations of planning permissions, developments below the threshold. Okay. Householder applications. What? Urgent Crown developments. The Crown can fuck off. Developments that are granted planning permission by a development order, including permitted development rights. This is like, there's so much on here about fucking exemptions against biodiversity gain. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm just, they've put loads of red tape over it, essentially. Like, say, oh no, we've got green credentials, but they put loads of red tape over it and made it really bureaucratic. That's what I'm seeing here. I'll put the link in the description. But this is ridiculous. Okay, so let's see what the Labour Party are saying on possible solutions. I might go and look for the Tory manifesto, but I don't think it's going to say anything. So, alright, let's have a look. What we got here? Clean power, no. Green version, no. Energy, no. I know. War homes, no. No. Protecting nature. Let's have a look. The climate crisis. This is directly from the Labour manifesto. So, protecting nature. The climate crisis has accelerated the nature crisis. Whilst Britain enjoys remarkable natural beauty, certainly do here in Devon, in the southwest, whilst the Conservatives have left Britain one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world. Yep. We've no large natural predators here. None. Like, I think the European lynx was reintroduced in Scotland. The wildcat has been reintroduced in Scotland. But we've no wolves. We've no big cats, not technically. I mean, it's possible we might have the Black Panther sightings might possibly be feral cats that over years spending their lives up in the moors have grown to be bigger cats. You can see this in Australia and other places. Anyway, you know, us wiping out the wolf from and the wolf and other big predators in this country, on these islands, that's led to the overpopulation of deer in this country, roe and red. Labour would deliver for nature, taking action to meet our Environmental Act targets, and will work in partnership with civil society, communities and business to restore and protect our natural world. Okay, yeah, okay. Part of our plans to improve responsible access to nature, Labour will create 9 new national river walks. Okay, this must be working in tandem with, clamping down on the water companies. One in each region of England, and establish 3 new national forests in England. Cool. Whilst planting millions of trees and creating new woodlands. Okay, sounds good. I mean, what this tells me is that because these are things that are happening already, but on a relatively small scale. So what this tells me is that Labour want to back, like they want to put state backing into it. That's what this tells me anyway. Labour will expand nature-rich habitats such as wetlands, peat bogs and forests so families can explore and wildlife can thrive, including on public land. See, in Torbay, I don't even know if there even is public land. The closest, I think, is King's Carswell, which is actually in Torbay. Labour is committed to reducing waste by moving to a circular economy. Now, I'm given to lead to understand that a circular economy is it's simplistically speaking, like when I was growing up, under Labour, what was introduced was this recycle, reduce and reuse policy. And it just, it's in some ways that's held on, and in some ways it hasn't. So I wonder if they're going to re-push that as well, but looking at recycle, reduce and reuse, but on a large scale, like on an economy-wide scale. That's what I'm led to understand. Britain's coast, rivers and lakes are being polluted by illegal sewage dumping. Yeah. Putting failing water companies under special measures to clean up our water. Nice. We will give regulators new powers to block the payment of bonuses to executives who pollute our waterways and bring criminal charges to persistent lawbreakers. Fucking nice. We will impose automatic and severe fines for wrongdoing and ensure independent monitoring of every outlet. I mean, that's supposed to be happening anyway, but Tories. So, they've got a thing for farmers. That's not really what I'm looking at, but Labour recognises that food security is national security, which is why they will champion British farming while protecting the environment. Will set a target for half of all food purchased across the public sector to be locally produced or certified to be higher environmental standards. Okay, we will introduce a land use framework. I'll be interested to see that, and make environment land management schemes for farmers and nature. Okay, we will work with farmers and scientists on measures to eradicate bovine TB and protecting livelihoods so that we can end the ineffective badger cull. Labour will support animal welfare or improve animal. We will ban trail hunting and the import of hunting trophies. Nice. We will end puppy smuggling and farming along with the use of snare traps. And we will partner with scientists, industry and civil society as we work towards the phasing out of animal testing. It's not too much detail in there, as has been said many times, but there's a couple of things in there that I'm liking. So we'll see how that matches up with what these other people are saying. So, Royal Society, and let's have a look at these guys. Loss of natural habitats has been taking place over thousands of years, but now scientists are confident that we have ways to help biodiversity recover. Yes we do. And this is why, I keep having to try and tell people that, yes, things are changing, and a lot of bad things are going to come, but life isn't just going to die. It will come back, because it does every time. Or it has every time so far, I should say. So I have more hope, like in the big picture. Global efforts so far have been insufficient. We must produce food much more efficiently using less land with less waste. We must also change how and where we urbanize and industrialize landscape and the ocean, and how we produce energy. Pay more attention to the multiple values of nature, including and placing a financial value on nature might also help us to avoid losing more biodiversity. Turning nature into capital? Don't know about that. You have to convince me on that one. World nations could improve the situation at the UN's Convention on Biological Diversity 15th Conference of the Parties, COP15, to be held in Kunming, China. What is this? Not sure. Doesn't say. Ours is the first generation that understands that in detail the damage that is being caused to biodiversity, and the last with the time to make a difference. I mean, yeah, sort of. Growing populations of and the even faster growing rates of consumption are a major threat to biodiversity. Half the Earth's ice-free and otherwise habitable land is now occupied by cropland and pastures, and it is estimated that half the species at risk are threatened by agriculture. We need new ways of farming, using land for different purposes. Exactly how we do that is currently much debated. Deforestation, we know the issues. Yeah, we need the issues. I want to know what the... Really? So, under their thing of reversing biodiversity loss, they're saying what they want in a really vague way. They're saying that debates are happening, but they're not saying what is being, exactly what is debated. Exactly what is being debated. That's really pants. Royal Society, fuck off. So, British Ecological Society. Let's have a look at these guys. Nature-based solutions. Okay. Okay, this is. I think I've read this before, and this is massive. So what these guys here have done is they've put a link up on the site, and I think I'll put a link up to it as well. And this is the British Ecological Society, and they've got like 191 page PDF document of what they want here. So I'm just going to quickly run over the content section, and I will put the link to this in the description. They got a foreword there. I'm not sure. I might read the foreword in a minute. Executive summary. I might have a look at the executive summary. I might have a look at that. And then they got the introduction and stuff, and then you got section 1, habitat-specific nature-based solutions, a review of the available evidence. Okay, like this. So they've got in different chapters, they've got each of the different biomes. So, different, each of the different habitats. So you've got woodlands, heathlands, peatlands, grasslands, arable systems, freshwater systems, coastal and marine systems, and the built environment, the urban environment. Section 2 is effective implementation and delivery of nature-based solutions, embedding nature-based solutions in the strategic spatial planning. I'm like, okay, delivering nature-based solutions. I mean, okay, chapter 10 is about nature-based solutions as a whole, in general, possibly. Chapter 11 is economic valuation and investment options for implementing nature-based solutions. Interesting. I need someone who's into their economy stuff to kind of tell me what that means. That last what economic valuation of what? Valuation. Oh, hang on. Economic valuation for implementing nature-based solutions. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Then they've got some appendices, a table of chapter summaries and recommendations, which I might take a look at, and research gaps identified in the report, which I also might take a look at. So first, let's have a look. Do I do the foreword? This wasn't supposed to be just an in-depth read, but this one from the BES seems to be pretty good. British Ecological Society.org. Fuck it, let's do it. So this is from Professor Yadvinder Mali, CBE FRS, President-elect of the British Ecological Society. Yeah, I'm going to read the foreword, fuck it. So the foreword to this. We live in a time of immense environmental challenge and opportunity. There is a pressing need to stabilise our rapidly changing climate within a few decades, and also to halt and reverse the precipitous decline of so much of the natural world and its biodiversity, while at the same time improving the lives of many who live in deprivation and poverty. Yet there is a new and real momentum in attempting to address these challenges at levels ranging from international and national policy through bottom-up actions by cities, civil society, local communities and landowners. In the UK, as in many other countries, the COVID lockdowns have led to a new appreciation of how important local nature is to our individual and collective well-being. The desire to build back better after the COVID pandemic, together with radical new rethinking of land use policy and incentives, has led to a burst of interest and creative thinking about how landscapes and ecosystems of this biodiversity depleted country can be better managed to facilitate biodiversity recovery and contribute towards addressing climate change, whilst also providing for the welfare and livelihoods of local communities. I mean, that goes along my line of thinking, where I'm talking about we need to improve our housing and infrastructure, because climate change is going to force migration. It's already forcing migration, not just war, but climate change too is also already forcing people to migrate from warmer climates. This is going to accelerate. We need to prepare for this. We can't just sit and bitch and complain that more people are coming. We need to prepare for this, but at the same time we can do it in a way that also looks after our own. This is along exactly the same line of thinking. So yeah, back to it. The concept of nature-based solutions, NBS, to climate change encapsulates this new opportunity and synergy between climate change, biodiversity and societal agendas. For this report, we employed the definition of NBS as solutions that work with and enhance nature to mitigate or adapt to and that bit's important, adapting to climate change, and hang on, while simultaneously providing benefits to biodiversity and people. Nature can be our ally in tackling both climate change mitigation and adaptation through processes such as carbon sequestration, greenhouse gas emissions reduction, flood risk reduction, ecologically connected landscapes, and better urban environments. This report by the British Ecological Society makes a valuable contribution to this agenda by providing an authoritative review of the potential of NBS in the UK. It examines a range of ecosystems and land uses and looks at wider considerations of what it would take to deliver nature-based solutions at sufficient scale, including policies and potential trade-offs. Okay. It draws on the collective expertise of around 100 contributors with a wide range of expertise, and is a wonderful example of how the broad ecological society and practice can pool its expertise and insights and make an important contribution to this timely and pressing issue. This report was written and based on the expertise of the BES, British Ecological Society membership community. The authors and reviewers are largely academics from the field of ecology, as well as scientists and practitioners from statutory agents and NGOs. When thinking of NBS, tree cover and woodland restoration tends to get the limelight, but importantly, this report shows how an NBS approach can apply to a wide variety of ecosystems ranging from high peatlands to grasslands, heathlands, and agricultural and urban environments through to freshwater, coastal and marine environments. It also highlights that it is important not to focus on carbon sequestration as the only goal, as this can result in a negative biodiversity outcome such as monoculture plantations or tree planting on species-rich natural grasslands or heathlands. So yeah, like, you can't just go out there planting trees. Like, you need to recognize what kind of land needs what kind of trees and what kind and plants and stuff. What, each different biome needs different solutions, essentially. Which is the same with politics, like like quite often, whilst there's a connection between the solutions, as is here, you can't just focus on one solution. There is no one answer to this. Same with like I said many times with policy choices, it's a case of you can't just choose one thing or another and go, no, this will work, this will work. You need many different ideas and try to use as many of those things to get these things done. So I like what he's saying here. So yeah, like I said, it's I get on with that. Anyway, second part of this. Second part of the report looks at broader issues around the implementation of nature-based solutions in the UK, such as what policy, governance, and finance frameworks, as well as systemic change, are needed to deliver these solutions at sufficient scale, whilst also engaging effectively with local communities and other stakeholders. Nature-based solutions, NBS, is the need to deliver for societal and human well-being, as well as for nature and climate. Given the expertise of the members of the BES, and this report focuses mainly on the biodiversity and climate change aspects, while fully acknowledging the equally important benefits of NBSs to people's health and well-being. Big thank you to all the contributors for their dedication, hard work, and insightful contributions. and to the BES policy team for their convening and production of this report and skillful navigation and synthesis of the many complex issues that it covers. I truly believe there will be a landmark in setting the agenda and scientific and policy framework for the rollout of nature-based solutions in the UK, and thereby to our collective aspiration to build a vibrant, resilient and resurgent natural world with a stable climate in which our society and communities can thrive. Okay, so yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to have to cut this thing into many parts. I might do that. I can't even do this 5 overarching themes because it's going to take me over an hour. Like, seriously. There's a lot to it. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this a little series. This one is going to be a part 1. And it's going to be in many parts. And this wasn't supposed to be mostly made up of the BS, but I did say I was going to look into others as well. So I'm probably going to make this an ecological series or environmental series of videos. Put it in an environmental playlist and make a playlist saying environmental and put it in that. Yeah, so it's just because there's so much in this. That's all. I think yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Hang on a second. I need to keep this. Go there. So yeah, I quite like what I've heard here, and this doesn't sound extreme. This doesn't sound like extreme left. This is within what has been said here. Basically, they have said, look, there are big massive changes that we need to happen, but we do recognise that it's going to be a challenge in getting these things done and convincing people to do so. So we're going to try and think of realistic nature-based solutions to help with policy and policies to improve our own situation in towns, cities and villages. So I think it'll be a good thing if I do a whole series of videos on this, and this is for, like, the first whole bunch of videos is going to be on this document here from the British Ecological Society, which again I will put a link to in the description. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. Like I said, this first video, as it's turned out being, has ended up being more generalised than I expected it. Than I was kind of expecting it to be. I was kind of, well, I mean, it was going to be a bit generalised, but don't know what you think. Like, again, I'll put the links to the sources I looked at in the description. And again, this isn't like, I'm not just hyperfixating on this one. I'm going to be looking at others. I'm going to be making this as part of a series. I am quite convinced of that now at this point. I've convinced myself of it whilst talking to you guys about it. So yeah, I quite like that from Professor Yadvinder Mali. I like the way he thinks, because he wants that. He's not just looking. He's looking at this in a bigger picture way, and I fucking love that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. Please put it in the comments, and if you got your own ideas, let me fucking know. So this has been One Angry Pagan talking about the environment and ecology and possible solutions, and this is going to be the first episode of a whole bunch of videos where I am going to be doing that. So, my shield at your backs, guys, as always, and God with you, and blessed are say badges and the bizzles.